Imagine waking up one morning feeling slightly more tired than usual. You shrug it off as just another exhausting day. A few weeks later, you start noticing unusual chest discomfort, maybe a bit of dizziness, but again, you dismiss it. Then suddenly, without warning, you find yourself in an emergency room, fighting for your life. The truth is, heart attacks don't always come out of nowhere. Your body often warns you weeks in advance. And today, I'll share 8 warning signs that a heart attack might be just around the corner, signs you cannot afford to ignore. Heart attacks don't just happen out of the blue. Your body often tries to warn you weeks in advance, but many people ignore these warnings, thinking they are just minor issues. This is where the real danger lies, not recognizing the early symptoms. The truth is, early detection can save lives. Imagine being able to spot the warning signs and take action before a heart attack occurs. That could mean the difference between life and death. Many people believe heart attacks are sudden and dramatic, but in reality, they are often a slow buildup of warning signals that your heart is struggling. One of the earliest and most commonly ignored signs is persistent fatigue. Feeling tired after a long day is normal, but when exhaustion lingers for weeks despite getting enough rest, it's time to pay attention. Your body uses fatigue as an alarm system, telling you that something isn't right. The heart is responsible for pumping oxygen-rich blood throughout the body. When it starts struggling, your muscles, brain, and other organs don't get the oxygen they need. This leads to a deep, unexplained tiredness that no amount of sleep can fix. Many people brush off fatigue, blaming work stress, age, or lack of sleep. But here's what makes heart-related fatigue different. It's a heavy, deep exhaustion that doesn't go away with rest. Simple activities like walking up a flight of stairs, carrying groceries, or even standing for a long time feel unusually exhausting. Some people describe it as feeling like they've run a marathon when they've done very little. If you wake up in the morning already feeling drained, or if your normal daily routine suddenly feels overwhelming, your heart might be sending you a critical warning. Women, in particular, are more likely to experience extreme fatigue as an early sign of a heart attack. They may feel drained, weak, or experience flu-like exhaustion that lingers for days or weeks. The challenge is that this symptom is easy to dismiss. Unlike the classic chest pain we associate with heart attacks, fatigue seems harmless, until it's too late. The heart is a muscle, and like any muscle, when it's overworked and under pressure, it starts to struggle. The result: you feel tired, sluggish, and unable to perform simple tasks without feeling completely drained. What's even more alarming is that fatigue caused by heart issues doesn't always come with other obvious symptoms. Some people experience no chest pain at all. Instead, their only clue is this deep, persistent tiredness that gets worse over time. If you find yourself constantly battling exhaustion with no clear explanation, it's time to listen to your body. A quick checkup with a doctor could make all the difference. Ignoring this sign could mean missing an opportunity to prevent a heart attack before it happens. Along with fatigue, another critical warning sign is chest discomfort or pressure. Most people assume that a heart attack means sudden, severe chest pain, but the reality is much more subtle. Many people experience discomfort that comes and goes over weeks before an actual heart attack occurs. This discomfort is often described as a pressure, tightness, or a squeezing sensation in the chest. It may not be painful at first, which is why it's so often ignored. The discomfort can feel like indigestion or heartburn, leading people to think it's just a minor digestive issue. But there's a key difference. Heartburn usually happens after eating and improves with antacids, while heart-related chest discomfort can happen anytime, with no clear trigger. Some people describe it as a feeling of heaviness, as if an elephant is sitting on their chest. Others say it feels like a burning or aching sensation. If this happens and then goes away, don't assume you're in the clear. Recurring chest discomfort, even if mild, could be a warning sign that your heart is struggling. The tricky part about chest discomfort is that it doesn't always stay in one place. The sensation might spread to the shoulders, arms, back, or even the jaw. It might feel like an ache, tingling, or even a numb sensation. Many people assume that sharp, stabbing pain is the only sign of a heart problem, but in reality, the discomfort is often more of a dull pressure that builds over time. If you feel something unusual in your chest that doesn't go away, pay attention. Chest discomfort related to heart problems can also worsen with exertion and improve with rest. For example, if you feel pressure in your chest when walking but it disappears when you sit down, this is a red flag. It could indicate that your heart is struggling to get enough oxygen, a warning sign of an impending heart attack. Some people experience short bursts of discomfort that last a few minutes and then fade away, only to return later. This pattern is especially dangerous because it tricks people into thinking it's nothing serious. Another important clue is how chest discomfort makes you feel overall. If it's accompanied by nausea, dizziness, or shortness of breath, the risk of it being heart-related increases significantly. Many heart attack survivors recall feeling a strange, uneasy sensation in their chest days or even weeks before their attack. They might have ignored it because it wasn't sharp pain, but looking back, they realize it was their body's way of warning them. One of the biggest mistakes people make is assuming, if it's not painful, it's not serious. This belief leads to delays in seeking help, which can be fatal. The earlier you recognize these subtle signs, the better your chances of preventing a heart attack before it happens. When you combine persistent fatigue with chest discomfort, the danger level rises significantly. Your body is telling you that something is off. These symptoms, when occurring together, are not just random aches or stress-related exhaustion. They are signals that your heart is struggling and needs medical attention. Ignoring them could be a deadly mistake. If you or someone you love experiences these warning signs, don't wait. It's always better to be safe than sorry. The heart doesn't always give second chances. Shortness of breath is something we often associate with strenuous exercise or temporary stress, but what if it starts happening during normal daily activities? Imagine walking up a flight of stairs or simply getting out of bed in the morning, and suddenly, you feel like you can't catch your breath. It's not just a moment of being winded, it feels different. It lingers. It happens even when you're not exerting yourself. It might come with a slight tightness in your chest or a feeling that you just can't take in enough air. This isn't normal, and it's not something to ignore. It could be your body trying to warn you of an upcoming heart attack. When the heart struggles to pump blood effectively, it affects oxygen delivery to the entire body. The lungs and heart work closely together, so when the heart is in distress, the lungs feel it too. This is why shortness of breath can be a critical early warning sign that something is wrong with your cardiovascular system. Some people experience it as a sudden inability to breathe deeply, while others feel like they are suffocating, even when sitting still. What's even more concerning is that this symptom often appears before any noticeable chest pain, making it easy to overlook. Many people mistake this for asthma, a respiratory infection, or just being out of shape. They tell themselves it's nothing serious and move on with their day. But if this breathlessness keeps coming back, especially in moments where you wouldn't normally expect it, it's time to listen to your body. If you find yourself struggling to breathe while lying down but feel slightly better when sitting up, this could be a sign that fluid is building up in your lungs due to heart failure. Waking up in the middle of the night gasping for air is another red flag that your heart isn't working as efficiently as it should. Shortness of breath doesn't always happen alone. Sometimes it's accompanied by a feeling of dizziness or lightheadedness, which is another warning sign of a heart issue. Dizziness can hit suddenly, making you feel like the room is spinning or like you're about to faint. It can last just a few seconds or linger for longer, making it difficult to focus or move without feeling unstable. This happens because when the heart isn't pumping blood properly, your brain isn't getting enough oxygen. The result, you feel woozy, disoriented, or even on the verge of passing out. It's easy to dismiss dizziness as dehydration, low blood sugar, or just standing up too quickly. But if it starts happening frequently, especially in combination with other symptoms like shortness of breath, chest discomfort, or excessive fatigue, the risk of a heart-related issue increases dramatically. Some people feel this dizziness when they suddenly change positions, like standing up too fast. Others experience it while sitting or even lying down. If you feel like you might faint without an obvious reason, this could mean your heart is struggling to maintain a steady blood flow. A major warning sign is when dizziness or lightheadedness happens along with nausea, sweating, or an overwhelming sense of unease. Many heart attack survivors describe a strange feeling of impending doom just before their attack, like something is seriously wrong but they can't quite explain why. It's an instinctual response from the body, signaling that something isn't right. If you ever feel this sensation along with dizziness, take it seriously. When dizziness occurs while doing everyday activities, it's a sign that your heart isn't keeping up with your body's needs. You might feel fine one moment, then suddenly lightheaded or unable to focus. Some people find that they need to sit down immediately to avoid passing out. If you ever experience this while driving, climbing stairs, or doing something where balance is crucial, the danger becomes even more serious. This isn't just a moment of feeling off, it could be an early indicator that your heart is struggling to function properly. One of the biggest mistakes people make is ignoring these warning signs until it's too late. They think, "It'll pass," or, "I just need some rest," only to find themselves in a life-threatening situation days or weeks later. The truth is, symptoms like shortness of breath and dizziness don't usually appear out of nowhere. They build up over time as the heart struggles more and more. If caught early, treatment can prevent a major cardiac event. But if ignored, these symptoms can lead straight to a full-blown heart attack. If you find yourself gasping for air during simple tasks, feeling lightheaded for no clear reason, or experiencing moments of unexplained weakness, don't brush it off. These aren't just small inconveniences, they're potential warning signs that your heart is in trouble. Many people who suffered heart attacks later admitted that they had these symptoms for weeks beforehand but didn't take them seriously. They thought they were just tired, stressed, or getting older. But your body has ways of warning you before a crisis happens. The question is, will you listen? Pain is something we all experience, but when it comes to heart attack warnings, the pain is often not where you'd expect it. Most people associate a heart attack with sharp chest pain, but in reality, the discomfort can show up in unexpected places, like the arms, back, neck, jaw, or even the stomach. It's often a dull, aching, or squeezing sensation that comes and goes. You might feel it in one area, then suddenly in another. This shifting, unexplained pain can be a crucial warning sign that your heart is in trouble. Pain in the left arm is widely known as a symptom of a heart attack, but it doesn't stop there. The discomfort can extend to both arms, making it easy to mistake for muscle soreness or a pinched nerve. Sometimes, the pain creeps into the shoulders or upper back, feeling like tension or pressure rather than a sharp ache. This happens because the heart doesn't have pain receptors like other parts of the body. Instead, when the heart is in distress, it sends signals through the nervous system that can register as pain in different areas. One of the most commonly overlooked symptoms is jaw pain. People experiencing heart issues may feel tightness or aching in their jaw, sometimes mistaking it for a dental problem. Women, in particular, are more likely to feel this discomfort in the lower jaw before a heart attack. The pain might start mild and gradually intensify, or it might come in waves, disappearing and then returning later. It's easy to dismiss, but it's a signal that shouldn't be ignored. Another surprising area where pain can strike is the upper stomach. Some people feel discomfort that mimics indigestion, heartburn, or even nausea. They assume they've eaten something that didn't sit well, but in reality, their heart is struggling to function. Unlike typical indigestion, this discomfort isn't linked to food or relieved by antacids. It lingers, sometimes worsening with physical activity and easing with rest. If you ever feel this kind of stomach discomfort along with sweating, dizziness, or fatigue, it's time to take it seriously. Pain related to a heart attack often isn't sharp or stabbing. It's more of a pressure, tightness, or heaviness that builds over time. Some people describe it as a squeezing sensation, like something is pressing against their body. Others feel an aching or burning that won't go away. The key is that the pain doesn't behave like normal muscle soreness. It doesn't improve with stretching or movement, and it doesn't go away after a few hours. Instead, it lingers, moves around, and sometimes disappears only to return later. Ignoring this kind of pain can be a deadly mistake. Many people who survive heart attacks later admit that they felt discomfort in these areas days or even weeks before the event. They thought it was nothing serious, just a minor ache or strain. But the truth is, pain that comes without an obvious cause, especially when it appears in multiple areas, can be a major red flag. If you ever feel unexplained discomfort that won't go away, don't take chances. Beyond pain, another major warning sign is excessive sweating. Breaking out in a cold sweat for no reason can be an early indicator that something is wrong with your heart. Imagine sitting still, doing nothing strenuous, and suddenly feeling drenched in sweat. It's not just regular sweating from heat or activity, it's an unusual, clammy sensation that makes you feel unwell. Many heart attack survivors recall waking up in the middle of the night soaked in sweat, feeling cold and shaky, but not knowing why. Sweating during a heart attack happens because the body is in distress. The nervous system goes into overdrive, trying to compensate for the heart's struggle. This leads to sudden, excessive perspiration, often accompanied by dizziness, nausea, or a feeling of extreme weakness. Some people describe it as feeling like they just ran a marathon even though they've barely moved. The sweating can be so intense that clothes become damp, and the skin feels cool and sticky. Unlike normal sweating, heart-related perspiration doesn't come with exertion. It appears suddenly, often without warning, and doesn't go away easily. If you find yourself sweating profusely while sitting still, especially in combination with other symptoms like chest discomfort or dizziness, it's a major red flag. For some people, the sweating comes along with feelings of anxiety or an overwhelming sense of doom. It's as if their body knows something is wrong before their mind does. This intense, unexplained stress response is another reason why people mistake heart attack symptoms for panic attacks. But there's a key difference. Panic attacks usually pass within a few minutes, while heart-related sweating and discomfort persist and often worsen. Ignoring excessive sweating as just stress can be a dangerous mistake. Many people who suffered heart attacks later realized they had experienced unusual sweating for days or even weeks beforehand. They assumed it was due to anxiety, menopause, or just being out of shape. But this type of sweating isn't normal, and when paired with other symptoms, it's a clear warning that your heart is in distress. The combination of unexplained pain and excessive sweating should never be ignored. These symptoms might not seem serious at first, but they are often the body's way of signaling an impending heart attack. The key is recognizing them early and taking action before it's too late. Many people who survive heart attacks say they wish they had paid more attention to the subtle signs. The body always tries to warn us. The question is, are we listening?